now we in the screen, baby. The screen. Powerful, powerful screen that has 66 different icons. Each icon represents a different feature and helps you better navigate the user interface. If you're rocking with the manual alongside with me, we have a table of every single icon. And let's just take a pause to look at them. You see some umbrellas, you see some scissors, you see a mute, you see a fader, a battery, a little sync plug, a MIDI sign, floppy disk, little guy swinging, stretching, see some faders, see some circles, looking good, right? It's not that intimidating. So now we're gonna go through our icon map. We're gonna go one by one. Sound. So as you can see, we hit sound and we have our white sound icon over that. We got our main. So we in our main, you see the main light up. Tempo, blue tempo light lights up. Right now we're at 126. System, so if you hit shift and erase, we get into our system settings. So as you can see, we just use shift nonchalantly. We can hit main to leave. We hold our erase button down. You see we're ready to erase things. Keys mode, keys are lit up. So we got our mute mode. So right now, fader's up. Now we muted. You see I'm playing, A's flashing, but we're muted. Back. We got our battery. If you unplug the USB, you see we're battery powered. Pull everything out, go see what's up with Lupe and the birds. Get some good samples. We have our fader. You see, down, making automation. Flashing. We have our fader value. So right now, it's at its highest. If you see us going slowly down with the faders, lowering, 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 lowering. Oh, right, we back to mute with our fader automation. So you just saw like six little icons happen at once. See, we're still high on B. See the mute again. There we go. Our group indicator. So see, we got A punching, B punching, C punching, and we're not hearing anything, but it is saying that D is sending information. So as we start making beats, you'll see all four of those flashing at once, because you might have some drums on A, a little bass line on B, a little keyboard line on C, and then you got something you chopped up or a vocal on D, so you'll be seeing all those go. We have our sync activity. We're not syncing right now, but you see the little plug if the sync's being received. We have our MIDI activity. If you see the little blue MIDI light, it means MIDI's being received. We have our copy. We have our paste right there. We have our USB MIDI. Forgetting USB MIDI, purple little USB. We have a floppy. So now we're gonna go back to our shift in our icon book. If we hit shift and sound, we've just entered our sub page of the sound mode. So blue is our sample sound mode. We hit +1. We got our trim right here. You see we're gonna trim. We got our envelope, attack, decay, sustain, release, very important, as you know. And we got our little rabbit if we time stretching. Think of warping in Ableton. You got a breakbeat that you like it, 95, but you want to speed it up to 125. So if you get your loop points right, we can time stretch that away. We'll get into that as we go. We got our autosave, which happens pretty fast. See, we hit like 50 other buttons. You're seeing lots of icons right now. We have a new pattern. So if we have this little circle with the parentheses or whatever, that means the pattern's empty. See, right now we just hit play. Nothing going on. We have our number pad active. So look, if we holding that down, that means if we hold it down, see right now we have sound 306, but if we hold it down, we could type sound 400. But remember, back to 306. So you can move swiftly through the sounds. They've recommended that we use certain numbers for drums, kicks, bass, melodies. We'll get to that in a little bit. Play, lit while playing. It's my motto. Record. So If you hit record once, it's waiting. If you hit record play, there's several different record modes, but that special red light that can change lives, basically. We have our loop button. So if you hit shift and tempo, see if you, the underneath where it says the things, that's the shift. So tempos are above, but shift underneath loop. So as it said, there's our loop signal. Those are our loop points. Sick feature. We're gonna go into that soon. As are all the features. We got our bar mode. We got our tick mode. So there's our auto save we talked about. BPM. There's display the BPM. Raise and lower with our XY. You know, as you start to get familiar with things, you just be moving around. We got our metronome. There it is. And they said, you know, we could go real fast. 40. So we blazing around, tempos flying around, matching, overlapping. And time stretch. Doesn't look like any are enabled in time stretch, but we're gonna get into that as we move on. Effects. That shows the effects are active. There's our effects right there. And as always, amazing job by Teenage and using their products to inspire each other, but also I feel like every time they have a new sound, whether it's the OPZ, the OP1, the effects on the TX are amazing. I'm loving the effects on here, the distortions punch in, the chorus. You can do a lot of fun things. Delay, reverb. So now if we get our sample, there's our line in. Shows that the Teenage or the OP1 field is sending. And if we sampled, it would say the mic. So we'll get to that. Got your little mic sign. We got our clipping exclamation. I still haven't, I haven't really been able to get it to clip yet, which I'm feeling a little, you know, I thought I could do better. You know, we want to see these things clip and how they sound when they clip, but they got this thing set nice. We got our levels. So there's our level, our overall level. When you bring the fader down, so we're, you know, we're right there. If I turn it up there, it's looking red. Still not clipping though. We have our cue for quantize. So if we hit our timing plus minus, cues flashing, that means we're gonna be in grid, 30 seconds, 16th triplets, 16ths, 8th triplets, 8th. And then if you're gonna be like Dilla, we in that. Free time, no quantize. And our swing. I feel like our man got some good follow through. I feel like I see, well, he's right-handed, but he's twisting from the hips and, like, you know, full follow through. So that swing, it's looking nice.